What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spread the Positive podcast. I am your host, Trent Denson, founder of Spread the Positive and STP Productions, where our mission is to bring light to what's going right and to showcase and facilitate efforts that are making a positive impact in our local communities and beyond. Be sure to check us out, spreadthepositive.net. And also, if you're looking to get involved with the STP Podcast Network, please reach out and just check out all the amazing shows that are on the network. We continue to grow. We continue to build. Be part of the solution. Be part of what's going right. Welcome to the show.
Hey, my name is Brian Nell. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission and helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly be a pleasure to be a part of what they do. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. I'm your host, as always, Trent Denson, and super pumped for the show today. Have an absolute legend in the building. Part of the NFM Media Network family and part of the Spread the Positive family, and I'm super grateful for that. Without further ado, please welcome my guy, Robert Reames, man. How's it going?
It's going great, Trent. How are you, man? Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
I know, flipping the script a little bit, right?
Well, I'm in the Spread the Positive studio as a guest on your show, the main man show. I mean, this is an honor. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. Honor to have you in and to be working with you. It's been awesome, and I'm super grateful for everything. So thank you for everything you do and trusting us with bringing the RR Wellness Live Unfiltered podcast to the world. It's such an honor, man.
Yeah, well, it's been great, man.
Yeah.
I will say this, and in case I forget to say this, and anybody in this area, and even remotely, I think you can do podcasts remotely.
Absolutely.
Anybody that wants to do a podcast, and you really want a sharp podcast production, you hit this man up, because Spread the Positive is like, I searched for 5 years here in Middle Tennessee.
That's such an honor, man.
Yeah, for this venue, and I found it here, and we've done probably at this time, by the time this airs, probably about 8 or 9, 10 episodes of the RR Live Wellness Unfiltered podcast. And it's been awesome, and Trent, you got a lot to do. You got a lot to do with that, man, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, that's an honor. Really means a lot to get that kind of praise from someone like you and all the media you've done. So, man. So, Robert, the way I like to do it is to take it back to young Robert, early passions, what childhood was like. Anything you're comfortable sharing along those lines?
Well, wow, it's probably like, how did I get started in this, right?
Right.
How did it all begin? Well, I'll make a very, very long, convoluted story short as I can. I grew up in Elkhart, Indiana, which is the mobile home capital of the world, and I love Elkhart. I still love Elkhart. I've got a lot of family left there, and basically everything that I am and who I am started there.
Yeah.
And it still remains. I've remained extremely grounded, I think, for everything that I've gone through and all the opportunities that I've had. But when I was a kid, people will ask me, well, hey, Rob, how did you get into this business? And probably there are two things that really are the foundation of this. Number one was my love for sports. Now, when I say my love for sports, I loved sports, and a lot of people love sports, but I loved to play sports, and I loved to be a fan of sports. And I was one of those guys. I was that guy on the team or in the school that I had moderate athletic ability. I will say moderate athletic ability. But I had, explosive, highest grade, top dog level work ethic.
That's awesome.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of like, if I wanted to accomplish something and I wasn't the best athlete out there, and I'm talking, I played football, basketball, baseball, ran track, I was going to be the best that I could be, and I knew that I had to be to even compete. So I was that kid that always had to work harder than everybody else. And I was around a lot of amazing athletes. There's been some amazing athletes come out of Elkhart, Indiana, and the state of Indiana. And so that work ethic, and just the work ethic that my parents and my family gave me and the town gave me. Elkhart is a very industrial work ethic centric city. And so we work hard. Us folks from Elkhart, we're hard workers. And I learned that work ethic right from the get-go, and I also, my passion for sports. The other thing is that when I was a kid, I was addicted to processed foods. I grew up in the early 60s and the 70s, and this was really the onset of drive-throughs and, you know, fast food restaurants and ultra-processed foods and high-sugary foods and all the dyes that we hear about now. All of the ultra-processing became like really prominent in our grocery stores and in our lives in the 60s and 70s. And I was at the onset of that. And so I got addicted to them. And I will say this, I've told this story before. My mother and my father, my mother fed me extremely well. I did not become an obese kid. I was an obese kid. I did not become an obese kid because of my parents, because they enabled me or whatever. They actually fed me too well. I went out and I got the treats and everything, and my addiction with fast food and whatever. I went out on the outside because, again, I talk about work ethic. I had a paper route and I had a lawn mowing business when I was a little kid. And I had always had cash in my pocket. Well, what did I, instead of investing it in Bitcoin or whatever, which was
a little early for
which
that.
wasn't around then, I don't think. But instead of doing that, I invested it in Hershey bars, Nestle's Crunch bars, Snickers bars, McDonald's. My go-to meal at McDonald's was 2 Quarter Pounders with cheese, 2 large fries, an orange drink, and a cherry pie, of which I would only eat the crust.
Wow.
And I again, coming from Elkhart, we had some of the most amazing, authentic Italian restaurants in the country. And there was and you Elkhart folks that may happen to listen to this, Nicky D's Pizza. I mean, you're talking like, I salivate as I talk about it right now. But I was addicted to these foods, and I got super heavy. Why did I eat these foods? Because I could.
Yeah.
And I self-discovered very early, and I went through, this was about middle school, because I was, because we all do things because we got payoffs, right, Trent? We get paid off for something short-term or long-term, emotionally or whatever it is. And I was really good at sports because I was bigger and heavier. I was stronger than everybody. So when I was in elementary school, to be heavy, oh my God, I could hit the ball a friggin' mile. Yeah. I could throw the football. I remember I was a pump, pass, and kick competitor. Nice. And I had trophies, pump, pass, and kick. I could throw. It was a smaller football at the time. But our flag football leagues in grade school the fields were 45 yards long. I could throw that football 45 yards. Wow. And I was like 11 years old.
That's impressive.
So yeah, so I had all that, because I was heavy, I had so much behind it, it paid off. But then in middle school, I got slow. And social life hit me. And you know what? Quite honestly, the girls at dances. I mean, Bob the nice fat kid sitting on the sidelines at the dances. I didn't like sitting on the sidelines at the dances, but I did because there's Bob, nice fat kid, but nobody wanted to go out with me. Nobody wanted me to carry their books to class.
Sure.
So
that's tough.
That motivated me out of that. And I had about 10 years there between middle school and when I got out of college and then first went to LA, where I really struggled. And then once I got to LA and I got into the wellness business, I became an aerobics instructor. August of 1983 was my first aerobics class that I taught. I'm talking, leg warmers, dolphin shorts, tights, the whole thing, Trent.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I was there. So
that's awesome.
So that started me out, and since that point, I haven't looked back.
That's amazing, man. So kind of tough high school, middle school, high school years. Where did you go to college again?
I went to Ball State University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ball State.
Shout out to Ball State, the Cardinals.
That's
I was
right.
Charlie Cardinal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got mascot energy. that shit.
That was one of the funnest gigs ever, man. I got to tell you, I did. There's a very, very successful actor that was with Charlie Cardinal for most of the time I was at Ball State.
Oh, wow.
But there was one season where there was a fall season where he wasn't going to be there, and they had this open call, and I got it, and so it would have been the fall of, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but. Man, that was one of the funnest gigs ever to be a
awesome.
mascot. And I'd lose about 8 pounds a game.
I bet.
Man, I was running out there, and this suit was flannel wool, and I had these tights on, and I had this big cage cardinal hat thing on. I mean, nowadays they're, these outfits for mascots are kind of bionic.
Yeah.
But that thing was just raw, like a big Halloween costume. And I'd go under the stands at halftime, after halftime.
Yeah.
After the
Just to
halftime
cool
show,
off.
just be drenched.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah, Ball State.
Charlie Cardinal. That's amazing. So Ball State, and then you right after that went to LA.
Yeah, I literally graduated on a Saturday night, and I was on the road Tuesday to LA.
That's crazy. What was that like back then? What was LA like? I mean, that's got to be a crazy culture shock. Had you ever been to California or anything?
No, I'd never been. I'd only seen it from what I'd seen on TV and movies and pictures and in the news, and it was a destination for me. I mean, I wasn't really. It wasn't like I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared. I was excited. It was a learning curve.
Sure.
I will tell you that. I mean, I can tell you this, that it took me I'm just not good at geography anyway. I mean, I even had a hard time here in Middle Tennessee learning some of the roads and stuff.
Sure.
But I remember it was about 2 or 3 years before I actually learned how the freeways work and how to navigate myself around. But when I had a very, very clear and definitive mission when I went to LA, and
Nice.
I also at the time I had a girlfriend at the time that was also at Ball State that had established herself for a couple of quarters from Ball State from an internship. So I kind of had a place to go right away when I got there, so that helped. But man, I didn't waste any time. I remember picking up trade papers and everything and just looking at opportunities. And quite honestly, when I first went to LA, it was to be an actor and a musician.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, you're a theater.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I played the lead in probably between Ball State and high school, probably about 10 musicals.
Wow. Yeah,
And
I remember
so-
you mentioned that.
Yeah, so that got me out to LA, which was great. But literally the first year, and this again, it all kind of ties together because I was this heavy kid, and because I was going through this journey, and because I was in musical theater and stuff in college. And I was in a tour group at Ball State, which was an amazing experience. When I got to LA, I wanted to take dance classes, which kept me in shape because I had this whole thing where, I still had this monkey on my back of this fat kid. And it's still today, Trent, and to your audience, man, it hasn't left me.
Really?
So it motivates me all the time. But when I
Wow.
first got to LA, I was taking dance classes, and it got really expensive. And so I found out about this health club that was literally 2 blocks away from the first apartment that I lived in. And it was called Rocky's Racket World.
Nice.
And I went over to Rocky's Racket World, and I joined. And back then you could join a health club for really not too expensive.
Sure.
They had all the classes. They had all the strength rooms. At the time, it was this huge, huge building. They had racquetball courts and all this stuff. And it was pretty amazing. And I joined the club, and I was taking the aerobics classes with the instructors there. And it was like, I had this membership and everything was included. And I was always been competitive because it's, again, being, that moderate athlete, competitive spirit and my intensity always got me maybe to a little higher level than I ever would have before. But I'd get up in the front row and I'd compete with the aerobics instructors. And so one day, when you take group classes, and nothing's really changed, group classes started really big in the 80s, but it remains the same today. You get this camaraderie with people that you take classes with. You got the same vision. It's community that I talk about. And one day, it was a Saturday morning, I'll never forget it. We're all outside waiting for the next class, and the head instructor, her name is Nancy, and I never got to thank her for this because she left the club soon after this, but she comes running down the hall, right before the class, and I'm standing there with everybody talking, and she stands right in front of me. She was really tall, so I had to look up at her. And she says, "Rob, I need you to start teaching tomorrow."
Okay.
And I was like,
what?
I guess that's my interview.
Yeah, right.
And it hadn't honestly crossed my mind
Really?
at that point.
Wow.
Because I was just like, I just wanted to stay in shape.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and everybody's staring at me and looking at me, and they're like, nodding their heads and doing this, and I'm like, okay, this is some sort of a destiny right here happening. So I started teaching aerobics classes, group classes, and man, I just fell right into it.
Yeah,
I was
that.
a natural.
Yeah.
And I started at Rocky's Racket World. Then I went to another club called Sports Connection. And Sports Connection, for those of the folks that have been around for a long time, or you can Google this, if you look at a movie called Perfect, and it had John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Okay.
That movie was set at the Sports Connection.
Oh, wow.
Around the health club scene in the 80s.
Wow.
And I was actually, when I first started with Sports Connection, it was me and 3 other ladies. We were chosen as an aerobics dance team to go out and promote the movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Wild.
So, and that was when I
That's
first
cool.
got to Sports Connection. So all that kind of stuff just fell into place. And the first real job that I had in LA was I was assistant to the producer of a show called Alive and Well, which was the #1 show on the USA Network at the time. It was a health and fitness talk show. So I kind of, God put me in a really great place when I went out there and put me in the places that I needed to be.
Yeah.
And so, from there, just everything started to take off, and I had this fitness career, and I eventually got into personal training in the late 80s, which was kind of the onset of personal training. And the rest is history, man. Here I sit today, it was August of 1983, and this is August of 2025. So you're talking 42 years later.
That's insane.
And I'm
just getting started, right?
Yeah, I'm just getting started. I really am. I mean, you've been around me for a while here, and you know that, this is just something that I was born to do, this whole thing. So I'm very grateful.
That's awesome.
And I don't take anything for granted, and I've had a ton of really great opportunities along the way, man. I'm just really grateful.
That's so cool. 42 years, man. That's wild.
It's older than you are.
It sure is. But still, man, that's wild. That's wild. Man, so did you do anything in the acting or musical stuff outside of the dance stuff?
Yeah, I was on.
Sorry, I
had a recurring role on Days of Our Lives at one point.
No
I played
way.
One of the teenagers. I did a series. You could see this stuff's all on my Instagram.
Okay. You got an IMDb page or something?
Yeah, well, and that too.
Yeah.
I think not all of them got on the IMDb, but this next one did. I was on a series called Roomies.
Okay.
There was an NBC series that at the time launched right after the Cosby Show.
Oh wow.
Which you're talking.
That's major. That's huge.
Major. This was 1987.
Yeah.
And it was a series with Burt Young, who, God rest his soul, he's now deceased, but he played Paulie in all the Rocky films.
Wow.
He was the lead, and Corey Haim was the other lead, another guy that passed away. But they did a show. Roomies was a show that was combined. It was a spin-off of a movie called Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay, nice.
And Burt Young played his chauffeur in that movie.
That's amazing.
And so the spin-off was Burt Young was going to college. He was in the Marines. He was like in his 40s going back to college. And Corey Haim was this genius kid who was 14 that was going to college, getting elevated to college.
Wow.
And so I was on that series, and it lasted about 10 episodes. And I thought, Trent, that I was in the ship.
Yeah.
I was going to be it.
Yeah.
I've arrived.
Wow.
Well, the show got canceled, and reality sets in.
Yeah.
So I realized that was one of the first big hits of well, you know what? Don't count all your chickens before they're hatched, or don't spend all your money because things can change really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But I did.
That's awesome.
Soap operas. I did Roomies. I did a couple movies. But there came a point, and I also, I'll add this too. I fronted a rock band called, because I was in music, I wrote music.
Oh, yeah.
I fronted a rock band called Da Vinci's Cradle. And this is also on my Instagram.
Yeah.
You can see it. Mm-hmm. My hair was quite a bit longer than it is now. It was all one length. It came down, and there's some really cool pictures of that. But, there came a point and I'm not going to go into that point because there was an exact point that the ship did sail. But there, that ship sailed, and what I had all the time underneath that, Trent, was my fitness and my wellness career.
Okay.
And that's what kept me going. That was my foundation.
Okay.
And that was really my passion. Quite honestly, I was a shitty actor. I was not great. But what happened is, like, once I got into the media, and this is where it all comes full circle for me. Once, I met Dr. Phil and Robin, which is a great story too. Once I met Dr. Phil and Robin and I got into media and I got into TV, it came full circle because I found it so much easier to play myself and to be myself than to be something else.
There you go.
So
that's amazing.
That's where that comes along, but I'm grateful that and all that stuff I did before trained me so that I could just hit the ground running when I did get Dr. Phil and started doing all this other media. And I mean, Dr. Phil is an amazingly smart, intuitive guy. He knew what he was doing when he picked me. Yeah. And again, I'm always grateful to him and Robin for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's quite a segue. I don't think we need to kind of take a step back real quick. I've heard of that Dr. Phil guy.
He's pretty much a household name. I would say that at least. So absolutely.
So take us through that, man. I've heard cliff notes of this story, but this is the chance where I get to selfishly dive a little deep, man. So tell me how all of that came about. So you're just killing the game in the personal training, wellness, nutrition. How does that go down?
Well, what happened was I was working with I started personal training in the 80s, and I got into that, and just that kind of eventually built, and it was it was the onset of personal training, and there were some people that said, personal training, how's that gonna work? Who's gonna pay for that? Well, it elevated and got to a huge spot by the time I was in the 90s. And so I was personal training, and I had a clientele, and I took a job with a company called Busybody, which at the time was the largest fitness equipment retailer in the country. I got that job through a friend, and I got that job to make extra money. I actually took the job in November of 1993 to make some extra money. And little did I know that was going to help me build my personal training business, because what happened was people came into the store, and like I said, Busybody was the place. Mm-hmm. And I was, I became one of the main salesmen there very quickly, and actually it got into management as well.
Nice.
And people would come in and like, well, you're going to buy equipment, you're going to buy a gym for your home, you're either going to buy a bike or you're going to buy a whole gym. And we sold what we called one-offs, which we, sell somebody a treadmill or whatever, but we would, go ahead and outfit a lot of gyms and even commercial gyms to the store level. And so what happened was, hey, I sell you a gym or I sell you a piece of equipment, I'm going to come to your house for free for one time and show you how to use it. Well, what does that turn into?
Personal training.
A personal training client.
Dude, that's
so
genius.
That took me over the top.
That's awesome.
And so that was 93, and I was with Busybody. So fast forward, I was with Busybody doing all that, and I got into commercial fitness and still personal training. I was doing all this at one point. I was working for Busybody in sales, commercial sales, retail sales, and I had my own personal training clientele. I had gotten out of the group training thing because I was so busy into personal training and the Busybody thing. And then in 2002, Dr. Phil and Robin had moved to LA to do the Dr. Phil show because Dr. Phil had done Oprah for 4 years, and he elevated and got his own show. And I can remember this one day that I got a call from Robin McGraw, and Dr. Phil's wife, who's, amazing lady, amazing person. And I got a call from her, and quite honestly, I didn't watch a lot of TV. So at the time, I didn't know who Dr. Phil was at that point. I mean, I take that back.
2002.
I knew who Dr. Phil was, but I didn't really watch Oprah. I didn't really watch a lot of TV. And so I certainly didn't make the connection of like, wow, that's Robin is Dr. Phil's wife. So I get this call, I have this great conversation with Robin. We're new in town. I need it for my husband's doing a show, and like everybody's doing a show in LA. So I was like, that I didn't think much of it. And so I get home one day and I say, I got this call. This lady in Beverly Hills, Robin McGraw, needs a trainer. I'm gonna go over next week and start training her. And my wife says, Rob, that's Dr. Phil's wife. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, now I know who Dr. Phil is, because I knew that he was on Oprah.
Yeah,
and I knew
yeah.
that of Dr. Phil, but I never watched him. And I was like, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
But that came, and this is a really important point in the story. That moment came for me because I had the reputation within that company and with everybody around that knew me as the guy that knew his shit.
Yeah.
And I studied. I got, you see all the alphabet behind my name.
Mm-hmm.
That I always studied.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always current, and I still remain that, because I think it's very, very important for people that do what I do to remain current. And so I started training Robin, and then eventually I started training Phil. And then the second year that I was with them, that was 2002, 2003, 2004, Dr. Phil wrote The Ultimate Weight Solution. And I came into the training room one day, and Phil was warming up on the elliptical, and he goes over, he nods his head, and he goes over, go over and look at that notebook on the bench. And I went over there, and Phil's over there warming up, and I start thumbing through the notebook, and it was the profiles of the 13 original Ultimate Weight Loss Challengers for the Dr. Phil Ultimate Weight Loss Challenge.
Wow.
He goes, oh, man, every time I tell this story, I get choked up. He says, I want you to come on to the show and do some training.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, of course.
Right.
And that's when my media career really started right there.
Yeah.
That's when it really took off. And I led all the weight loss challenges for Dr. Phil, tons of media, 90 episodes later. I'm still with the show, tons of media, and people that I meet like you, Trent.
Yeah.
I would have never met you had it not been for that.
Man,
so I'm grateful for that, and that's kind of how all that elevated. So it all started with that fat kid in Elkhart, Indiana, who struggled and had to self-discover.
Yeah.
And it elevated all the way through high school and at Ball State and all the stuff I went through when I went to LA with those hopes and dreams. And I just stayed with it. I never stopped. I always believed. And
Man,
here I am today.
That's incredible, man. Wow. Congratulations. And the
Thank you.
perseverance. And what do they say? It's not luck, or what is it? Preparation meets
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
There you go. That's a textbook definition.
Yeah, and it is, because I mean, look, those there was the people that recommended me that to Robin that I was the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't happen just
by accident.
randomly.
Yeah.
That was like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
Call him.
Yeah.
She did.
You earned that. Well, man, I want to get into a couple of the signature questions I always ask me.
Sure.
So, you know the tagline here at Spread the Positive, bringing light to what's going right. That's why it's such a great fit for everything. NFM's doing everything you're doing.
Yep.
You're such, like, just in general, like, you are a very uplifting, positive, high energy, truly care. Like, you're out here doing things for the right reason. And you definitely have, like, this mission behind you that is it's super inspiring, man. You talked about, we did a couple of shows earlier today, and there was some very inspirational stuff in there as well. But in your opinion, or just according to Robert Reames, what would you say is going right in the world? That's one of my go-to
What's
questions.
going right in the world?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. With all the distraction and the shit that's going on,
Yeah.
I think that good is winning out.
Yeah. Let's go.
I really do. I think that good is winning out. And I think good will always win out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to get too religious here, but
Sure.
look, when you believe in God and when you actually embrace that,
Mm-hmm.
good will always win.
Yep.
Good is so much more powerful than evil.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to embrace that,
Yep.
because the evil can be very intimidating and very powerful
Yep.
on the surface,
Yep.
or when you first meet it. But if you stay with the good
Yep.
and the mission of just being a good person, that's what I always people have, when they describe me, they say, "Man, God, he's a really great guy," like you said, like you just said. I mean, I hear that a lot, and I will go back to, I was just raised good.
Yeah.
I had my struggles,
Sure.
and my family wasn't perfect or isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And my situations have always not been perfect, but good has always won over evil.
Yep.
So what is good in the world and what's still going, what we still got going great for everybody is that good is winning.
Let's go.
And when good wins, good stays in command.
Right.
So
Yeah.
in your thing here, spread the positive. I mean,
Right.
it's the same thing, Trent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. That emanates from who you are.
Yeah.
And when I did the first NFM podcast, the Nashville Fit
Mm-hmm.
podcast, I pegged you out from the beginning, man, and you
Yeah.
didn't have to say much, but I knew who you were,
Yeah.
and I knew you were part of that good,
Yep.
and so
appreciate that.
I latched on to that
Mhm.
because that's the kind of people I want in my life.
Yep. Same.
That's that circle of support and that mechanism and that team that I talk about that you have to keep yourself moving forward, and you're a part of that, man. And you created this, man. This is yours.
Yeah, a lot of help along the way, a lot of great people. But yeah, I appreciate that, and it does take one to know one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty common thing in the world, and when good people get in a room together, good stuff happens,
Yeah.
and we'll keep good winning, right? So
That's right. Good will win all the time. If you just got to stay with it. Good always wins.
man, that's facts. I love that. Another I hate that we're gonna have to cut this kind of short. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2.
That's because there's a lot of stuff we haven't covered, but
This is just the beginning. I'm here a lot, and we can look at this. Will whet everybody's appetite. This is kind of like the
teaser.
Initial history of Robert Reames, and,
Yeah.
and we'll get more into some of the other stuff because
Yeah.
I know Trent, you got a lot of great things going on right now.
Yeah,
I want
man.
to talk about some of the stuff that you've got going on too. So
Sure.
'cause
Well,
everybody, you deserve to have everybody know that because you're a pretty amazing dude.
I appreciate that. We definitely have some exciting stuff happening with the network and building. Just it's awesome having people validate what we're doing here, and having folks like you, man. Like that's such a it's so hard to put into words. The validation that comes from the Terrys of the world, and Terry's like, hey Robert, I can't do this, but Trent can, so you and it'll still be part of the fam. And
Terry, NFM,
Terry, you talk about what's going right. Terry Bargy is a great example of that.
Yeah.
But one thing I always like to end on, man, and we'll get all your plugs and socials, and we'll talk about the book for a minute. But I always like to. One of my signature sign-off things is something we call the Grateful Four. 4 things you're most grateful for right now. What you got?
Oh, wow.
What's going on, everybody? Super excited to announce another member of the STP 1200 Club, our family over at P's and Q's Pickup, your local junk removal specialist, your one-stop shop when it comes to getting rid of things you don't want or need. We take just about anything, including furniture, appliances, trash, construction debris, and more. We prioritize eco-friendly disposal practices as we sort through everything in order to keep as much out of the landfill as possible. But yeah, we recycle and donate what we can and properly dispose of the rest. We offer volume-based, flexible pricing options and can do anything from a single item to a full property clean out. Give us a call or shoot us a message at 615-995-9881 to schedule your free, no obligation estimate today. Huge shout out to the team at P's and Q's Pickup, Matthew, Pookie, and Haley. We greatly appreciate y'all. Super excited to have y'all as members of the 1200 Club. Y'all be sure to stay tuned for some great content from these folks. Their social media game's already on point, but excited to have them in studio utilizing the benefits of the 1200 Club. Huge shout out again to P's and Q's Pickup. Be sure to check them out. Just Google P's and Q's Pickup and you will find the best junk removal specialist here in Middle Tennessee. What you got?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, this is totally off the cuff, man.
I know.
Well, number one, my family.
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't be, my wife and my kid especially, I
Sure.
wouldn't be sitting here without them, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely number one.
Yep.
Number two, everybody along the way,
There you
starting
go.
with my parents. I mean, and my brothers and sisters who are all still here. We don't stay in great communication.
Sure.
I'm not a great communicator with sometimes on day to day.
Sure.
But we have this relationship, and I've got a couple of real foundational people from Elkhart
Sure.
and from LA
Sure.
that are true connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for them, and they all know who they are. and they all helped me build, and they still help me to sustain and give me that support mechanism of who I am and what I do and support my mission. Number 3, my health.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to be 66. By the time this airs, I'll be, you know, and I certainly don't act like it. I don't look like it. And I want to tell everybody out there, look, you know, there's this stigma of getting old. I never bought into that.
Yeah.
I never bought into it. I never will.
Right.
And so I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family, my foundational people,
Yep.
my health, and I guess the 4th one would be I'm just grateful to God for the opportunities that I have.
That's beautiful.
I wouldn't have these opportunities, and I created them, but that foundation of God gave me the ability and the strength to create these things, because I think that what happens, we bring energy and we bring things into our life. I'm 1,000% believe that we bring the people into our lives that have purpose in our lives, whatever that purpose is at that given time. And it may not always be the best purpose.
Right.
Sometimes it's to learn.
Sure.
But I'm grateful for those 4 things, and wow.
Yeah,
that's it.
I love that. Makes me think of an Eric Church song. It's called "Those I've Loved," and it's like those I've loved along the way. So, shout out to Eric Church as well. He's all-time GOAT for me.
Awesome.
Anyway, Robert, plug away. Where can people find you? Please talk about your new book, Anti-Diet, The Paradigm Has Shifted. I'll be sure to have that pop up and post. But talk to us about where people can find you, and we'll wrap this one up.
Well, the RR Live Wellness Unfiltered podcast, which I do here at Spread the Positive,
sir.
that's on YouTube, and you can find that. I mean, it's on all the podcast networks,
Yep.
but you know, the audio-visual version of it is on YouTube and on YouTube Bing, and it's been going great.
Yep.
I mean, viewers are coming out of the woodwork, and thousands and thousands, and it grows every single day. So definitely that. Our Revive and Sustain Wellness app, reviveandsustain.com. Reviveandsustain.com. That is an app that I have created with my Revive and Sustain Wellness team. We have corporate wellness. We have group wellness. We do school curriculums. We can do basically anything that you need within that app, and then we create a program all the way around that. And it's like nothing else that you will ever see. It's the full kit and caboodle of what you need for health optimization, body, mind, and spirit, working from the inside out to get to where you want to be and have the skills to attain that. And then this book, Anti-Diet, The Paradigm Has Shifted. This right here is a roadmap to whatever you want to be, health optimization, weight control, mental, physical, clarity, whatever. You learn to get to the point of where you have the strength, the power, and the skills to do the things, to be the optimum version of you, and then I give you the logistics and the roadmap to sustain it, to get there, and to move beyond. And hey, the world is your oyster on this book.
That's
and
right.
It's been getting great response. And again, I wrote this book with my team, with Chef Andy. This wasn't created from some ghostwriter or some bullshit from some publisher.
Right.
This is the real deal. This
That's
is
right.
my work for 40 years. So pick that up, and then any podcast that Trent is producing here at Spread the Positive, check it out, because I promise you, it's going to be high quality.
That's facts. Appreciate that. And you're the real Robert Reames.
Oh yeah, Instagram at Real Robert Reames. At Real Robert Reames.
There you go.
If you see one that says Robert's Wellness Revolution on Instagram, that account was actually stolen.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and so it was stolen like 2.5 years ago. So new one is at Real Robert Reames.
Yep.
At Real Robert Reames. And then you can also we have a fan page on Facebook. It's called Revive and Sustain Wellness with Robert Reames. You can find that there too, and on X, Robert Reames. And I'm easy to get a hold of these days. You Google me, I'm pretty easy to find.
Love it. Well, I appreciate you, Robert. You're a legend. It's an honor, like I've already said, to be working with you and have you call you friend, man. Like I love these sessions. I love having you in here. The people that you have on this show is incredible, and just pumped for the future, man. We got some big things on deck, so everybody stay tuned. Right. Do want to go ahead and plug, go ahead and check out the new spreadthepositive.com or .net. Whoops, spreadthepositive.net. Got some great, just a totally revamped, really tells the story better. Also information about the STP 1200 Club to support some of these shows. and just some other opportunities we got coming down the line that I'm super excited about.
Awesome.
But Robert, thanks again, man. We'll wrap this one up, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, man. Thanks, Trent.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it, man.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Spread the Positive podcast. For more information about all the things we got going here at Spread the Positive, please check us out, spreadthepositive.net. Get involved with our underwriting, advertising, sponsorship program, start a podcast, or if you just want to support the mission, reach out on spreadthepositive.net or any of our social media handles at Spread the Positive. Look forward to connecting with y'all and giving y'all another fire episode on the next one. Thank you, and we will see you then. Let's go.